Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I'm going to do a flip cup, but I'm going to do it slightly different to normal. So I've got a whole assortment of colours and I'll explain more as I go, but I'll show you the colours first. So I have Eraldo de Paulo Ultraviolet and Breeze, which is a limited edition. I have Lavender, which is limited edition, and Cobalt Hue. So that is 4 of the colours. Then I have black and white, and then I've also got coral, an old global orange. I've got lava flow, which is limited edition. I quite like this red. And wattle, which is it's an opaque yellow, not transparent yellow. So that is the colours I have. I have mixed them with my Elmer's clear glue, 70%, water 30%. And then a couple of them I've added extra water just to make them even consistency. And I've added 2 drops of helmar silicone oil in all the colours except for black and white. So I'm only going to use 2 cups, and what I'm planning to do is put the blue, well, the purples and the blue in 1 cup, and the reds, yellows, orange and coral in the other cup, with a little bit of black and white added into them as well. So instead of having 2 cups either side, which you just pull down, I'm going to put 1 here, 1 there, and I'm going to try and do, I'm going to pull 1 this way, 1 that way, and do them on a diagonal. I don't know if it's going to look any good, but that's the fun of trying something different. So I'm ultimately hoping to have one side that's more orangey and one side that's more purpley. So some of these paints are still slightly not as even in their consistency, but I keep mixing it all up, and 5 minutes later they feel slightly different again. But they're pretty even, just not precise exact. So now, I'm going to layer them while I'm on camera, just so you guys can see how it's going, because it's not the same as normal. So we're going to go a bit of orange. So I'm going to try and do 3 layers if I can. But if I only get 2 layers, then so be it. So altogether there's probably going to be between 600 and 700 grams of paint. So it's going to be a reasonable amount of paint in this flip cup. But I have to make sure that I can get to all sides evenly. So that's the goal. I'm not going to put, I might put the white in now, but I won't put the black in next to the yellow. So I'm not adding a lot of black and white to it. I'm just going to put some in, just to give it a little bit of difference here and there. Put a little bit of black. Sorry, I hope I'm not off camera too much for you guys. Oops, don't want to use too much black because I've only made the same amount of black up and white when I want to put it in both sides. So I used 25 grams of paint to 25 grams of pouring medium. So there would have been about 50, but a couple I had to add water to, so that they would have gone up a little bit. So that's why there's between 600 and 700 grams. and because some colours had a little bit of water added, like there's probably slightly a little bit more yellow than some of the others. So trying to do this on camera. I'm trying to arrange my camera angle so you can see everything that I'm doing. And these paints were made up only about an hour and a half ago, so there is some air bubbles left. I didn't have time before work to make up the paints. So I'm hoping to get a like two-toned again, like strong colours one side and different colours the other side. I wouldn't mind if they blended a little bit in the middle. Sometimes they do kind of mix together a little bit where they join. Other times they don't. It just depends on how the paint wants to behave on the day. I did spray my cups with some silicone oil, so just a WD-40 silicone spray. Spray it in there, then wipe it out with a paper towel. Only the two flip cups, just makes the paint come out a little bit easier. So these big cups I have here are 500ml cups. And like I said, this is an experiment to see how this style works. It may not turn out to be fantastic. I like having fun. I like just deciding I'm going to do this for the night and see how things turn out. So that is that one done. Now we got this one. So I want to go, I'll move that out of the way, transparent, opaque, transparent. Actually, I'm going to put that one there and that one there. Transparent, opaque, and then I'll add some black and white. So I hope everyone enjoys watching these experimental videos. I think it's good to have a bit of fun and see what turns out. Might add a little bit of black there. So it doesn't matter that the cups are dripping on the canvas a little bit, because it's a flip cup, they'll end up being covered up completely anyway. Whoops, I think I used too much blue. Oh well. Wasn't concentrating properly. And the blue was already thin enough, so that wasn't mixed, didn't have any extra water, so there's a slight lesser amount of that one. And we'll put some white in there. Then we'll go more deep purple. So this is fun, just seeing how things turn out. I have noticed that a lot of my pours, I don't actually do what they call a dirty pour, where you pour it in quite heavily so it mixes a lot as it goes in. I don't do those ones very often, but I may actually have a go at it one day. See how different results I get from that. I may actually use up the rest of the black now, because I don't want it all over the place. Really, the black and the white are just there to kind of break it up a little bit. The white mixes and the black mixes with some of the other colours and will give you just a darker or a lighter effect. So that's my hopes. So even though I have 3 purples and 1 blue, hopefully the black and the white mix with them and give me a couple of different tones of purple and blue. And yeah, if you're not interested in this part, just skip forward, but some people like to see how the cups are all layered, so then they get to see the end results and how it works out. And I kind of agree. It's also good for me when I'm watching my videos back. I can see the same thing. I can see how I layered it. So all I wanted to do was just keep the black and the white away from each other, so I didn't, well, not right next to each other, because I didn't want grey. Even though grey wouldn't be that bad. So, hope this isn't taking too long for you guys. And I hope this turns into something good and it's not a fail. I haven't done this style of flip cup where I use 2 completely different colours and do it the way that I'm going to do it. I just wanted to have fun, and I was thinking, what can I do that's different? I had to think there which colour I did next. So the advantage of mixing them light and dark is when I do get cells, they're more noticeable because the colour underneath is a different tone. And also the advantage of having the 2 lighter colours as opaques and the 2 darker colours as transparents also means that the cells are more likely to show more definition. Doesn't always mean that they will precisely, but it gives you more of that option of that happening. So on the other side, it was very similar. So the red is a transparent, the orange is a transparent, and that yellow that I used, the wattle, is an opaque yellow, and the coral is an opaque coral colour. So that should give me similar effects. So I tried to keep both sides similar in that degree while still being quite opposite colours. And who knows? So there's my 2 cups. You can see the layers in there. So before I go too much further, I'm going to put my gloves on. Oops. So altogether, as you can see, these cups are quite close. They've probably got about I reckon they got about 350, maybe between 350 and 400 grams in each. So there's actually a reasonable amount of paint here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 colours. 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 10 colours at about 50 grams in total before I add extra to top up water. So it's really 500 plus, but I reckon I've got close to 700 there. Okay, so I'm just going to double check to make sure it's recording. I don't want to guess it is. I thought this would be a disaster if it stopped recording on me. So let's go. I'm a bit nervous. I've never tilted cups this way before, so I'm hoping that it doesn't all just quickly pour off the edges before I even get a chance to do anything. So the silicone oil's working. As you can see, the paint is now coming off the bottom and going down. Doing it on here too, you can see. So usually when I do this, I leave it upside down for 30 seconds to a minute just to let that paint come down off the edges. I'm hoping these colours make this look really cool. Pardon me. So it's a bit of fun. You can always, like, sometimes it's a shame when you waste paint when you do something that doesn't work out. But if you don't experiment, you're not going to learn anything new. You're not going to have fun trying something different. And that's all these people that bring out these new techniques or new styles. They all had to experiment in some point. And that's the fun part about it. I don't want this to become a stagnant thing for me where I'm not enjoying it because I'm just doing the same thing. So even though I'm doing a flip cup, I'm changing the style around a little bit to see how it works. So, and you never know. You could turn around and think that this is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to do this one first. So I'm a little bit unsure where to pour the excess. I'm going to do it on these two corners here. And the purple one I'll do on that corner and this corner. So there is a reasonable amount of paint there. I can see some cells already making their way to the surface. I'm just... Oops, no, I don't want to make a mess too much. So these corners will end up being tipped off anyway, so it doesn't matter so much that I put a mess there, because I want to go over the edges to kind of change the pattern. So this is actually encroaching on this side a little bit, so I might move this cup a little bit there, and let's go here. Well, like I said, this is an experiment, okay? If it doesn't turn out, or if it's looking a little bit crazy, I haven't done this before, so I'm just taking it as it goes. So I don't normally put purple and orange together. I wouldn't put them in the same flip cup because I'd get a lot of brown. But having them like this, I'm hoping it gives me some sort of cool effect without being too much. So I've got to pop some of these bubbles, so I'm going to get lots of cells. That's the only issue because I didn't mix my paints up early. So I'm definitely getting more cells in the orange side than I am on the purple side. So I don't really care if this colour stays perfectly on this side and perfectly on that side. That's not my point. My point was really to have two split colours that maybe blend and weave into each other a little bit. I don't know. I really didn't think that far ahead. I thought what I wanted to do, and I thought I'm just going to have fun and see how it turns out. So you can't see a lot of blue and you can't see much red. But hopefully once I tilt it, there will be some of that show up. So I am going to go up to the top first. So I need to go over this corner and push off that stuff I had on the cup. Okay, that's done. Okay, so definitely getting different. So that purple went off quite a lot over onto the other side. Okay, now you go over and back. I did one cup this side and one cup that side, and look, it's kind of joined up right in the middle. Who would have thought? But that's why I say experiment, because I wouldn't have expected that design. I would have expected more orange to be down here more and just have a slither of purple, when it's kind of come out quite half and half. So, whoops, knocking some things over at my feet. So I'm going to go over this purple side and push off these little cells here. Okay. Now I've got to go over this way and get rid of that corner. Alrighty. So I hope I'm not too much off camera. So I have really got quite different to what I was expecting. It really has turned out very half and half. I don't want that line to be straight. I kind of don't mind that line, so it's giving me a more orange side, but that's fine because I don't want that line to be straight down the middle. I don't want it to look like I've done one half of the canvas and then done another half. I've got to get my gloves off because they're dripping paint everywhere. So I'm really, really surprised. Let me pick up what's falling over at my feet. There we go. I'm really, really surprised about this. I honestly would have thought that that line would have been more like from here down to there, the way that I poured those cups. But maybe because of the weight of the paint and the way I tilted it. Maybe if I tilted it slightly different, I would have got a different effect. But whoops. Now I have to torch again. So this time I'm going to torch up high and try not to get close. The issue is I do have air bubbles in there, but I don't want to get close. I want cells to come up and to look nice and healthy cells. I don't want cell explosions in this one, I don't think. I do have a really nice line, so I can't spin with one hand and point with the other without spinning my other hand. Yeah, so it's the purple side is doing something, but I'm not getting a lot of cells really. So I'm just going to keep the heat there, hoping that maybe the silicone oil is just making its way to the top. So I love these colours together, but I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more experimenting to try to get the composition that I like. And I'll definitely make up my paints earlier, and possibly even slightly thinner. Because I'm getting a lot of air bubbles popping, it's kind of I think it would have been better if my paints were done earlier. Oh, getting a sore arm from the heat. Oh, from shaking the heat. Oops, I got a little bit close, so I got lots of little cells. I'm going to try and see if I can get some cells to pop up in this. I'm starting to get some. Because it is cold, I think the cells are having a little bit of trouble working their way, and the paint could have been thick. Just slightly thicker than I had anticipated. Oops. So these colours are really cool. The only thing I'm probably a little bit disappointed with is I got some really nice cell action happening in this side. And this side I got cells, but they're just not doing much. They're kind of trying to form, but not really, and different. So I wonder, what have I got? I'm going to do a test, seeing we're experimenting. Because I really would like to get some cells on this purple side. I kind of feel like it's pretty, but it's going to be too naked if I don't do something. So let me see what I have. Okay. Don't know if that's too pointy or not. I don't want to damage anything. I'm looking for a bamboo skewer or a toothpick. So I've got this toothpick, so I'm going to test it. I put 2 drops of silicone on top of this lid. So I'm going to dip the point in and just dab it on. Get a paper towel and wipe the tip. So they are bringing up a cell. I think I need something that holds a little bit more. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to run to the kitchen and get myself a toothpick. Okay. I found a bamboo skewer, but I'm going to break it a little bit shorter so I got more control over it. And I'm going to get the tip and dab it on a harder surface, not too much, but just to kind of break that point up a little bit. I don't want it super sharp. Now let's see if I can get something happening here. I'm going to have to keep my eye on where I actually put it. So the paint is thick because it is trying to push the colours out the way. It's just having a little bit of difficulty. So this is just a little bit of fun. I just kind of wanted, that side's got nice cells, I just wouldn't mind this side if it had a little bit more. So it's just a matter of finding some of the spots where you think a little bit more colour could be useful. Just doing a little dot. Just make sure when you do the dot you don't move it. You want to make sure it's just a dot. So I've done a couple here and I don't think I'm getting much colour come through. I'm going to try one with a bigger dot. See how that goes. Right there. I keep forgetting where I put it. I need to not look away. So I put that one there. I'm going to put one in here. So I think as time's going on, I am getting more cells come up through here. I think they're just struggling a little bit more than they were on this side. But this is what experimenting is all about. Seeing how something goes and either saying, I don't like that, I'm not going to do it again, or saying, this has potential. Let's see what we can do to improve it for next time. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do too much. I just wanted to see how it went. I'm going to get paint everywhere. Okay, so I am going to bring the camera down for a closer look and give me some feedback what you guys think. Whether this is something I should try again or just go, no, it's not. But I do believe that this here was because of, it might have been slightly thinner than the colours that were on that side. Also, maybe if I added a little bit more silicone. So each one only had 2 drops. Maybe that one needed, maybe I need 3 drops. So let's go have a look. Oops, where's the button? So there we are. I like it. It's pretty cool. It's different for sure. This side has definitely got really nice cells happening. It is mostly orange, which was what I was hoping for. I was hoping for orange with a bit of yellow, a bit of red, and a bit of coral. This side is not as purple as I was going for. It looks like there's colours under there, but they just look like they're kind of blanketed with a bit of an opaque tinge to them. So maybe I will reduce one of the opaque colours. Maybe take out the, I can't remember what it's called, but the lighter purple, which is an opaque, and swap it for another different type of purple. But as you can see, this side's, it's okay, but there's just not as much cells as the other side. So I can't even see, oh sorry, I think that is one of the cells I did myself. It's looking different to the others. But yeah, there is cells here. But I think if it had more, it would have just been probably, it would have been really cool. I would have loved it if it had just had more. So also, I reckon I might take out some of the white when I do this side. But ultimately, let's go back to the whole thing. That's how it looks. It's still pretty cool, but I'm going to make a few modifications and see if I can improve on it. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, share, like, leave comments, and enjoy your evening, and I'll see you for the next video. Okay, bye.